really glad to talk to Amy again to kind of get some sense of how much clarity you're getting in these volatile markets here. That certainly is a very interesting time. I mean, we just came back from Geneva, and we're learning that U.S. and China, there's a truce. It's a temporary one. It's going to last 90 days. But yet again, markets are euphoric in some ways as well. A simple question, Amy, how has it been?
I think one thing for sure is volatility is definitely here to stay, and uncertainty as well, despite the fact that actually, generally, the market reacted quite positively, and the temporary solution came a bit earlier than expected. And we've been talking a lot to clients lately, and so clearly, clients are looking for diversification, looking for advice. I remember I just came back from a few business trips, and in some of the meetings, in one of the meetings, we have 12. The client bought, because 70% of our clients are entrepreneurs, so definitely it has a lot of impact to both their business and also to their investment. So in that particular meeting, he brought along the family office, the whole family office, the CFO, the strategy planning, and the question will be around, what should I do with my investment? How am I going to diversify my business? So I think clearly it has an impact.
You were in Taiwan, right, during that historic surge? What was it on the ground? What was it like among some of the clients that you talked to?
I was there when the NTD went up so much. And obviously, as I said, from the client point of view, they are also looking, because Taiwan primarily is a very export-led kind of economy, despite the fact that the tech sector is also quite strong. So we have a lot of discussion on how we going to help them and support them in diversifying their business. And there are also a lot of M&A opportunity. To be honest, right now we are very, very busy on all the corporate advisory activity. Okay, and that happened in some of the discussion in Taiwan, as well as looking at also diversifying their portfolio, because out in the region, we have US dollar is the reference currency. So again, we are looking at both diversifying the currency, diversifying the asset classes into different asset classes like alternative or commodity. So gold is getting very popular.
Okay.
And also looking at NTD, what are they going to do there? And then also looking at succession planning, and met a few of the next gen who are now in the picture running the family. So then the topic like setting up of the family office and also learning how to diversify is.
So is that the theme now, to diversify away from dollar and dollar-denominated assets? And where to?
I mean, into other asset classes like even crypto, gold, and also looking at other currency, because as I said, bulk of our clients, almost 100%, if not 90, 100% are in dollar. So looking at also some other currency. And in the past, it's also quite US-centric.
Yeah. So
I've been also observing and witness some of the diversification out of the US portfolio, 20-30% to Hong Kong, China. And I mean, you all know, in the last few years, it was a very difficult year and market in China, in Hong Kong. Whenever we talk about China, they almost want to shut me off. Don't talk about China. But now, in recent months, going into some of the international conferences, they will ask me proactively, Amy, what are some of the investment opportunity in China? So I think that opens up, and particularly people are also interested in the Greater Bay Area.
Yeah.
Because remember what Jensen Huang said, the president and co-founder of NVIDIA. He said China's tech and AI will outbid its rivals because of the GBA, leveraging on the GBA. You need strength and edge out there.
Yeah.
So I think that will be quite interesting. And so tech sector itself is also another sector that a lot of our clients are looking into as well.
So 20 to 30%, you say, from dollar to China, is it?
I mean, looking into diversifying. That's what we've been collecting.
What about Hong Kong? There's a lot of renewed interest. A lot of IPOs are coming back here in the city. You talk about rates; they're much higher here than they are in the mainland. How much interest is there in Hong Kong now?
As I said, we have also seen a lot of activity, and we have very good pipeline. Some of the U.S. company delisting coming back to Hong Kong, as well as even some of the companies that are listed in Hong Kong have the secondary listing, like Alibaba. They are looking for primary listing because then they can access to the Stock Connect.
Yeah.
As well as some of the Chinese company, Asia coming to Hong Kong for listing. So, and the other thing, we have also seen activity going on, especially these few weeks. A lot of talk is some of the ECM, DCM opportunity because they want to also leverage the opportunity right now, the window that they can launch some of the kind of issue, be it that issue or some of the ECM. Kind of deal because you don't know tomorrow what's going to happen. Yeah. So I think volatility definitely is a challenge out there in the market, but it also represents opportunity.
What about private markets? We talked a little bit about that with Christina. Is it still a popular sort of alternative
It's still popular.
investment?
We just published the Global Family Office report for UBS, and actually 78% of our clients are investing in the private market already. And 28% said they would further increase their allocation. And I just, as the chair of the Private Wealth Management Association in Hong Kong, this morning I just hosted the advisory committee with our committee members, the advisory committee members, and some of them are also from the private market houses. And certainly the interest is still there. And when I was in Taiwan, remember I said I had a meeting with the next gen, some of those in the 40s running the business and also the family office. And exactly they asked us to also have more education forum for them to learn how to invest into the alternative. So that definitely I've been seeing interest. And when we talk about alternative, it's not just private market and also hedge fund, commodity and crypto. Interestingly, recently when I talked to some of the traditional family offices, they were telling me they are now looking at allocation of 5% in crypto. Wow. That's the reason why even traditional banks like us, I have to make sure we get our platform ready to take on this opportunity. So I think definitely opportunity creation is still in this part of the world.
In crypto too. I want to get more on the overall business perspective as well. Obviously, UBS has cut more than 10,000 jobs since it bought Credit Suisse back in 2023. How do you view headcount in Greater China now? Do you feel like you need to add?
We're certainly adding.
No cutting
I don't know
anymore?
if you heard about the news that we will be moving to our new building next year in September. I think the fact that in this current market situation, we can commit to a tower of our own and sign up the lease for 10 plus 1 years starting next year. It's a big commitment. If I don't see the opportunity, if the board doesn't see the opportunity and also the kind of potential, they won't allow me to sign that kind of lease, 450,000 square feet.
What areas can you add then, headcount?
Huh?
What areas can you add in terms of headcount?
Definitely, we will be selectively hiring from front, middle, back, but selective. The word is selective hiring.
I want to get your take on the onshore wealth business. How is it performing so far?
Onshore, you're referring to China, Taiwan, and some other location like India. Definitely. That's also another. I think for UBS, Hong Kong, Singapore are the important hub. And for us, is how are we going to further build and develop this important hub, as well as develop and enhance our kind of growth in the established market. The established market include Australia, domestic, Taiwan, domestic, Japan, domestic, and for example, like Taiwan, we are the biggest foreign bank in Taiwan. It's not an easy market. By the way, when I was there, actually Taiwan now is also want to launch the asset wealth management hub in Kaohsiung. So I said, oh, great opportunity, because right now, for example, we couldn't offer any discretionary portfolio management. So right now is the window for us to also lobby to have some of this platform offering. So I think, for domestic business, it's very different kind of operating model. Likewise for China, because we have been long in China domestic. We've been very successful. We have a very successful franchise.
Is it profitable
international
in China?
business. Sorry?
Is it profitable in China?
Overall, yes.
Okay.
Overall, yes, because we have a very strong international kind of business, and that will help to support. Because the fact is that why we have to go to China domestic, given you are so successful, we have over 200 billion just in China international business, and because only 1/7 of the assets are outside, are offshore. Bulk of the assets are still onshore. So if you don't have the franchise there, you don't have the coverage there, you will be out of the picture soon. But at the same time, I must say, it's not a level playing field for some of the domestic business. So because you have to have, for example, we have the banking license, we have the security license, because basically you need different license for different type of business, okay? And then I just also launched the digital wealth management, because the thing is that how many branches can you open in China? It's just a drop in the ocean. And so that's why we also launched the digital wealth management business, whereby I can open account in 3 minutes. But you know, when I first launched the model, it's 7 minutes. They said, you are too late, you are too long. So I think you are competing, especially in China domestic, you are competing with some of those tech players. Tencent of the world, Alibaba of the world, everybody is doing wealth management. And so that's why in India, we choose to play it differently. I wonder if you heard about the news that we also now have the the partnership with 361. So a leading private manager in India. So we will be looking at different kind of operating model and business model in playing and capturing the domestic market.
You mentioned Taiwan as seeing some growth. You mentioned India. I mean, where are some of the areas that you see the biggest revenue growth from? What markets are you most focused on now, Amy?
I mean, as I said earlier, I haven't finished. Hong Kong, Singapore are the important hub, and then the established market are Australia, Japan, and also Taiwan. And then the long-term strategic market for UBS are China and India. And so China continued to be one of the key focus markets. And actually, coincidentally, when we did the survey with all the PWMA, the Private Wealth Management Association member firm, 90% said the #1 market is China. Because that's the biggest wealth creation. If you look at the Huron, that's the billionaire similar to Forbes list. And actually China now came second with 853 billionaire. Second, just following US with 870 plus. So the wealth creation, despite the slowdown, still is a lot out there.
We don't have much time left. I have one more question. I mean, you've been at UBS almost 30 years?
This is my 30th anniversary.
Is there anything that you've,
Thank you.
Is there anything that you haven't done yet?
Oh, I haven't done, actually, I hosted, I told you, I shared with you, I hosted the Women CEO Summit and the CEO Network. And that's also something I want to bring to the table. And it's very respectable what Bloomberg has been doing, launching these new voices. And I'm so proud to be the alumni back in 2018. And for all of you, if you haven't signed up, do sign up the program. And I told Yvonne, I will sign up the refresher course together with my colleagues. I benefited a lot the program itself. So it's how are we going to also really help and support the women, especially the young women talent, to excel in their career. be it within UBS and also externally. That's the reason why as one of the founders for the Women CEO Network. By the way, that's something we should be, Fiona Lott was here. We are so proud because in Hong Kong, we have over 60 women CEO in finance. And these are talking about some of the big players, Hong Kong Bank, Citibank, Hang Seng Bank, you name it. So that's something we are doing in doing advocacy, lobbying the government, the regulation, doing education, doing young talent development, doing community well-being. Yeah. I think that's something I want to do more.
Doesn't sound like you're retiring anytime soon.
No, lah. I just renewed the contract.